Some improvements that I'm excited about from last year are, I think we'll be more competitive in dual meets. We have a bigger roster size this year, brought in 6 new freshmen, all who can impact our program right off the bat. So looking to be more competitive in dual meets and try to continue to move up in the conference. We have a lot of impactful newcomers in this freshman class. Catalina Berard, she is good at the distance event and is going to be a strong contender, so she's going to impact our program right away. Also Megan Carlson in the fly and IM events should be a big impact. And then also Desiree Primer from Austria and breaststroke, and Casey Swartley. I'm excited about seeing what she can do and how she can impact. Not to leave out Hannah Walsh and Valerie Samangio. They both will be able to help our program in both dual meets and invite style meets as well. Some of our schedule highlights this year are our conference dual meets. I'm excited about those. We swim St. Leo and FIT in a tri-meet, and that's always a very competitive meet, along with our dual meets against Rollins and Nova. And then we're hosting a first annual sprint invite this year in January. A lot of D2 competition from outside of the conference, but a lot of the teams that we see every year at nationals. So we're looking forward to having them at our facility and hosting them and racing outside of our conference.
Well, I think we had a great year last year. We did have a couple of our key people graduate, but we have 5 swimmers that made the Olympic trial cut in the 50 freestyle, and certainly one of our goals is to win that 200 freestyle relay at NCAAs this year. We were second last year in the 200 and the 400. Hundreds of seconds difference between us and first, so we feel like we can refine that this year, and all of those swimmers from last year are back, and I think on the men's side we can improve. On the women's side, it's very, very, very difficult. We lost 3 key swimmers. We've had some good freshman recruits come in. But that's a matter of development. We've got to develop them really, really fast. We're not as strong in terms of the number of people we have that we feel will move on to nationals as we were last year. But of course, that could change in December when we see how our freshmen work out at the end of the semester. Well, on the men's side, as I said, we have a plethora of terrific swimmers returning, especially in the sprint events. Over the years, we've kind of been known for our sprinters on the national level, and we have this year returning Runa Borgen, Jeremy Parker, Martin Hammer, Hollard Albadus, and Jordan Auger. Jordan and Hollard are likely to swim the Olympics for their countries. Runa was the national champion last year for his country, and Jeremy Parker is probably the best swimmer, certainly the best sprint male swimmer to ever come out of this area. He was a Greater Tampa swimmer, coached by Jim Kiner, our assistant coach, prior to coming to UT. And he's really, really developed. Last year, he had the fastest split time of anybody in the 100 at NCAAs. So that's a real tough group coming back. We have a couple of kids come in, but quite frankly, they haven't done it yet. I think we have a good group of freshmen. On the women's side, Rissa Barton was a scorer at NCAAs last year. I think certainly is a threat to win the conference in the 50 and the 100 this year. The freshman, Michaela Ayers, is probably our best freshman recruit out of Tallahassee, and she had some national qualifying times coming in. The rest of them is a project. You know, we have 7 freshman girls. Any one of them could really break out. Allie Lombardi, another girl from Tallahassee, has been swimming absolutely magnificent in practices. So we're hoping that the freshmen develop real fast. You know, otherwise it's going to be difficult for us to just keep our position in terms of conference and certainly going forward to NCAA. Well, and the first semester for us is always boils down to December. We open up against Florida Southern, which of course is a fierce conference rival, although we're not we're friendly rivals. You know, I know in most of the sports that Florida Southern and Tampa like oil and water. But ironically, Florida Southern and our team are pretty close, and the coaches are close, and when they started their program, we gave them their first timing system, and they've paid us back by winning conference the past 3 years on the men's side. So they've really come along. That's certainly going to be a great opening meet for us. But December is really where we'll know where we're going to be at the end of the year. We pretty much won't know anything until we shave, and we don't taper our kids for the December meet. It's a natural rest. They have 4 days of finals, where obviously we can't have them at practice. They'll come in and swim by themselves. They're real good that way. But that's kind of a natural rest, and then they roll into the December invitational meet. It's always been held at Nova, but this year they had some issues in terms of scheduling. So we picked up the ball, and we're hosting it at Clearwater this year, and that's right at the end of our final exam. So it comes in at a really good time for us. That's the highlight of the first semester. Non-conference rivals, I'll tell you, this conference is the fastest conference in the country. We don't need any non-conference rivals. St. Leo has improved tremendously, FIT. Nova, of course, with their national champions coming back. It's a very, very, very tough conference. You know, in the past, we've swum teams out of the conference. Gosh, we swam Auburn the year they won the Division I national championship. But it's got to the point now where the conference meets are so very competitive that we don't really have to go outside our conference for competition. So the second semester, we have St. Leo, FIT, in terms of dual meets, then of course the conference meet in February, and hopefully we advance a good group of people towards NCAAs.
Well, it's going to be a really exciting 2015-2016 season as the new head coach. I have a lot riding on the season, but we have a great group of swimmers returning this year with 5 senior women and 3 senior men, and 4 returning All-Americans on the women's side and 7 returning All-Americans on the men's side. So expectations are always high for the team. We've been top 5 on the men at Division II Nationals the last 5 years and top 15 on the women the last 5 years as well. So we're really excited about the learning for the new freshmen and sophomores, and you know, just the leadership that we have is going to be really great for this year. Ways we can always improve every single year. We can always race harder, and the way we do that is just trying to face the best competition we have and prepare the right way. On the women's side, we have definitely 2 or 3 girls that are really looking forward to contributing to the team at the conference level. Rebecca Dix is from Hungary, and she is very versatile in many events. Crystal Karras is from Michigan, and she's going to bring a lot of experience to the butterfly events that we are definitely needing for this year. On the men's side, we have a transfer from Bridgeport University, Antonio Nunez, who is top 8 the last 2 years at Division II Nationals, and a freshman from London, England, Nico Campbell, he brings a a very large experience at the international level in the freestyle events. We're really excited to see how this year goes. Well, we try to load our schedule with the most competition we have. The first semester we swim University of Tampa, which is always top 10 in the country on both men and women. Florida Tech is one of the quickly rising teams in our conference. And then we end the semester with Florida State University, so we'll go up and swim the Seminoles over 2 days. And it's just a great chance for us to race some of the top competition in the country at the Division I level. Second semester is definitely preparing for the conference championships. We'll swim Emory University, which is Division III out of Atlanta. We'll swim Nova Southeastern, which they're always top 10 in the country as well, and Indian River State College, which we've swum every year, and they have won over 30 consecutive junior college national championships. So we always try to swim the best competition that we can, and everything is geared towards conference and NC2As.
Ways to improve on last year is going to be our attention to details in what we did last year, because we focused a lot on the details to get to where we needed to be. But I think really taking a step backwards to focus on what other details we can improve upon is going to take us 2 steps forward. And then just our overall focus. I think our focus is not only in-season performance, but also end of the year. And I think our athletes, with the success that we had last year, see a definite end of the road with being at the end of the year and being at that high level. Some of our really key returners are not only those that went to the NCAA meet, but especially those that were national champions. So we have Thiago, Anton, and Courtney, who are returning and national champions. But then we have a large number of our athletes returning that were at the NCAA championships. And so we have that leadership in and of itself, in addition to those that were conference champions from last year. And then we have a lot of newcomers that came in. On the men's side, it's really, and even on the women's side, it's really hard to pick out key players. We do have a transfer that came in, Victor Tureen, who's going to be really key on our men's side. But then we have another whole slew of women that I think are going to be really dynamic in how they make great strides this year to keep our women's team where we were last year. Our schedule overall is really dynamic because we start off the year with swimming Division I programs at the All Florida Invitational up in Gainesville. We just came off of that, and actually it was 2 weeks earlier than what it has been in the past, and we've swam almost in-season best times up until this point at that meet. So we're really on a good track, and it really helps us going to a meet like All Florida where we can swim those high-level Division I teams like Florida and Florida State. Then we get to Shark Invite mid-year in December, and that gives us a chance to showcase ourselves in wearing our fast suits. And then, of course, we have our conference championship and NCAA meet at the end of the year. Now, also keeping in mind that we swim some really good conference schools throughout the season, too, that's peppered throughout. So we really have a good schedule lined up. At the end of the year, we really want to see our athletes come together and have that upward momentum to finish off the end of the year better than what we did last year.
The team had a really successful year last year. I think we have a lot of ways we can build upon that. One of the biggest ways we've done that is kind of continue to develop the culture of the team. They came back from day one this year and just been ready to go and working hard. And we had some technical things that we were weak at last year, and we've been improving on those things and made them a big point this year. We pushed the weight room a little bit harder than we have in the past, and a little bit more in dry land. In the water, just splitting them up into smaller groups and being a little more focused. Key returners on the women's side are Dar Raz. She was our first NCAA qualifier last year. She also won the conference championship in the 100 backstroke. She worked really hard during the off season. Looks like she's going to do real well this year. Be excited to have her back. Another key returner for the women is Shelby Pierce. She's a 4-time captain, and she's a captain as well this year, and she's been working really hard, and she's definitely developed into a strong leader for the program. On the men's side, we have Nir Barnea coming back. He was the first NCAA qualifier in the 50 freestyle. He's looking to really help out our relays this year. Thomas Steenberg, who's done really well for us in the 100 and 200 freestyle and helped out all of our relays. And then Yago Kubagawa, he joined us last January, and he's been really strong in the distance events and the IM events. Key newcomers we have 2 freshmen on the guys side that are really going to make an impact right away, and that's Adi Davidov from Israel. He'll help us out in the fly events. And then Philippe Dujmik, he's a sprinter. He's been doing pretty well so far in the 1500 freestyle, and we're excited to see what he can do. On the women's side, we only have one freshman, and her name's Jillian Collins. She's a sprinter, so primarily 50 freestyle, 100 freestyle, and 100 fly. One of the best kickers we've seen come through the program, and she's already made an impact on the team, and she's definitely a positive asset to the team. Some of the highlights for the season as far as our non-conference lineup goes is we swim Florida Atlantic on November 6th. They came to Florida Tech last year, and that was an exciting meet, and we're excited to go there this year and continue that relationship with them and build that into one of our strong non-conference competitions. Within the conference, we swim St. Leo later this week, and then Florida Southern the following week, and those will be some exciting meets, and we're excited to see how things go. We have the Panther Invite in November. That's a 4-day competition. We have St. Leo, West Florida, and North Florida coming here for that, and this will be an opportunity to see kind of where the team lies in a prelims finals competition and give us a little bit of a preview for where they'll be at the conference championship.
As for areas to improve, for our sprinters, we're working on lungs, legs, and athletic ability. For our IM and sprint group, we're working on transitions from one stroke to the next. Distance or upper people, aerobic capacity, anaerobic threshold, and improved pace. Key returners and newcomers for impact, that's going to be all of them. Everybody that's on our team is going to be expected to contribute, bring something to the table every day at practice and in the classroom. And so the strength of our team is based on the individual collection of the ability and points that they score. Well, the highlight for us is going to be the conference championship and NCAAs, and so from a non-conference standpoint, we won't get into that until we get to NCAAs. And so the highlight of our season comes against all their conference competition, and we're really looking forward. We get a chance to swim national level competition every week, week in and week out. We get to swim against each other every day, so it's the same mentality. And so we're looking forward to having a schedule that's set up for peak performance at the conference meet as well as NCAA national championships.
So last year was our biggest incoming class ever in the history of Rollins. More than half of our team were freshmen, so that made our year quite a building year. But that's a great thing for this year. We now have experience. We had some good incoming kids that'll make a difference, but the big key to us moving to the next level is the college hired a great assistant coach for me in Coach Eric Nelson. Eric's resume is outstanding as a USS Olympic level, international level coach, and we were just really, really lucky to catch him in a situation where he's interested in finding out about college, and he's already made an impact in the workload. So the key returners on the men's team would be Aaron Nestor and Aylin and Benjamin Gebauer, and that's a solid core of swimmers that are going to give us some really good relays. We're looking forward to some opportunities to try to break into nationals again on the men's side. On the women's side, of course, this is Audrey Kula's senior year. She seems to be healthy, she's excited, and there's no question that a healthy Audrey makes a big difference in terms of talent. With her senior co-captain, Maddie Minitry, had a breakout year last year, and will probably continue along that line. Should the two of them will lead the team. Another senior co-captain is Kayla Stuckey, who also had tremendous drops last year in the IMs and breaststroke, and they look to bring the second-year swimmers and some new freshmen along for a powerful squad. So the schedule in Sunshine State Conference is always intimidating. It's arguably the best conference for Division II swimming in the country. So every conference meet is just insanely intense. I am excited that we've added a few really good non-conference competitions. Just next week, we're going to open with an NAIA school, Thomas University from Thomasville, Georgia. Should be a real good opportunity for our athletes to kind of feel competition a little bit. Then we also have Lewis University, who generally was in the top 25 close to us the last couple of years, ranked about the same. So that's a great, should be a great non-conference meet. Westminster is a Division III powerhouse. always is a good measure for us outside of the conference.